Many people who watched the lunar eclipse said it was, in a way, humbling, putting humankind and all of its petty affairs in perspective.
It was the first time in 150 years that 3 rare lunar events converged.
Anything that prompts people to think about the world and the universe in which they live and to recognize they're part of it is A-OK.
It's a lunar lineup that hasn't been seen in the U.S. for more than 150 years.
But whatever you call it, it was a heavenly sight to remember.
This only held at the moon. It was blood red. I haven't never seen anything like it before.
It makes us feel like all our problems, all like the political and the nasty stuff that goes on is so small compared to what else is going on. But like I said, it brings everyone here together, like forgetting all the issues. There's no nastiness around this. Everyone's just brought together to appreciate it with no ugliness, no political drama, nothing. It's just to appreciate this beautiful event.
It reminds us how little we are, how small we are in the world. We are just a tiny part of the universe, and it's amazing to feel that.
To be part of something like this.
Dead crows are showing up in northeast Portland, and now the Audubon Society is trying to figure out why the birds are suddenly dying.
Birds were literally dropping out of the sky and dying on the ground as they flew.
That was yesterday. Today?
So these are 2 that I picked up this morning.
In northeast Portland's Piedmont neighborhood, crows are inexplicably dying.
I've lived in this neighborhood for 12 years. Okay. Yeah, and this would be the first time that I've seen something like this happen.
This morning, a few more were found, including one miles away in downtown Portland.
The why remains unanswered.
It's one of the rarest things I've ever heard of.
It was another overcast and windy winter day in Draper when a not-so-normal thing happened.
As I was driving, these birds just were falling out of the sky.
Lacey Brown was one of the people who saw things firsthand.
They were all on the ground right around here and along the roadway. They were just falling out of the sky like leaves.
But they weren't leaves. They were hundreds of small birds called starlings. And like most birds, starlings like to fly.
Yeah, it was not a sight for the faint of heart.
It was weird. Just a weird one. You've seen that black cloud as it's flying all over the place. Well, that's a starling group, and they call that flying tandem or murmuring.
So what would cause hundreds of birds to fall from the sky? Some people are saying aliens. Others are saying maybe it was lightning or they were poisoned. But in this circumstance, none of those are the case.
A river in Siberia appeared to turn blood red earlier this week. Chanka River, which flows near the village of Novotarmansk in Russia's Tyumen region, has turned a sinister shade of red. The Molchanka, which means silent river in Russian, has ominous crimson spots which look like human blood. The river turned the sinister shade a week ago. Experts have already taken samples for testing, but are yet to release the results.
Дело в том, что работают многие жители нашего тракта на этом тепличном.
Hundreds of people say they heard it, mysterious boom, and also a flash of light in one North Texas neighborhood.
Out of nowhere, just this like, pow!
Philip Washington was one of many in North Oak Cliff who heard and felt the explosive noise.
In British Columbia, Canada, Dr. Glenn McPherson says he heard a strange humming sound in his home. At first, he thought it was an appliance.
Ultimately, I cut the power to the entire house, and the sound got louder.
Then he discovered he was not alone.
This is in fact a worldwide phenomenon, and I'm calling it the worldwide hum.
Check out his Hum Map Data project. To date, some 17,000 civilians and scientists from around the world who call themselves hummers have reached out to him, saying they heard the same thing. Now listen to these strange booms that sound almost from another planet. It could be a sonic boom from a fighter jet breaking the sound barrier. Another possibility, a meteor. This home security camera in Bridgewater, New Jersey, actually caught the flash and then the sound of a meteor.
Huge explosion, loud enough and strong enough to knock the pictures off my walls and shatter the glass all over the place.
That may help explain some of the booms. But others remain a weird mystery.
Last night over Michigan, awesome video here.
Residents were left shaken when they saw the sky light up before hearing a loud boom.
The National Weather Service says it actually caused a magnitude 2.0 earthquake.
Some people even say their homes actually shook. The National Weather Service can't confirm it was a meteor, only that it wasn't weather-related.
After that big 7.9 quake in Alaska yesterday, meteorologist John Ahrens says scientists say the number of earthquakes is increasing right now.
Lines of cars, evacuees in Alaska, all people fleeing a possible tsunami. Scientists track every earthquake every minute across the globe, and they're seeing the numbers increase, and that's expected to continue. Geology professor Martha Carey Epps says it may be because the speed of the Earth's rotation is changing.
The 6.4 magnitude quake. It struck just before midnight. Roads, bridges, cars damaged. Neighborhoods reduced to rubble.
Since February 4th, we're hearing from the authorities, we've had about 100 earthquakes, including some of the ones that came after this major one earlier tonight.
This was the largest in a string of 70 reported quakes in the last 2 days. There was a 6.1 tremor on Sunday.
And so we don't know exactly why we're getting so many earthquakes in a short period of time.
Because of slowing down or speeding up, the actual diameter of the Earth changes through time.
That causes a lot of momentum within the rocks and cracks underground. But whether it's these cracks or the Earth's rotation causing all this shaking, it still has scientists puzzled.
News from around the world now. An historic heat wave in Australia has hundreds of bats dropping dead. The sweltering temperatures so severe, animal experts say the bats' brains essentially began to boil, causing them to fall from trees.
The River Seine in Paris continues to rise. Its pedestrianised banks have disappeared.
The water level continues to rise. Millions of euros worth of damages are already mounting up.
Entire neighbourhoods are washed out. The rising water is the result of weeks of heavy rain in France.
We have overcome 4 summer heat waves and 2 floods going over 6 metres, one in spring and the other in winter. It is clearly a question of Paris adapting to climate change.
We come and visit almost every year, every other year, and we've never seen the river like this.
Well, let's now move on to some other stories where social media users in Saudi Arabia have shared videos of, believe it or not, snow in the Tabuk area in the north of the kingdom. The one video also shows a user picking up fresh white snow, while others show near deserted landscapes covered in snowflakes. Now, the last few days have seen snow falling in different parts of the Middle East, including in Saudi Arabia and Lebanon. Now, this, of course, is a pretty rare occurrence. There was also this video of snow in the Sahara Desert which had taken everyone by surprise. There are visuals of snow, believe it or not, in a desert in Saudi Arabia.
الثلج في كل مكان. إنه صمت القلعة.